What's up guys, Scotty here from the Blue Coconut family and welcome back to another City Skylines tutorial. Today we're going to be continuing our deep dive and deep look into the farming specialization within industries. So yeah, we've come to our final video of farms directly, and I want to cover storage of your goods and explain how it works. So there are two types of storage I want to look at. The first ones are the farming industry storage buildings, and they're ones which are specifically for the farm, but these have a downside with the fact that they can only hold crops. They cannot hold your produced goods ready to be exported to your factories. The second one is going to be touching upon the warehouses very so slightly there, just to help with explanation. I have done a full video on warehouses, so if that's what you're looking for, there should be a card above me now. Okay, so we've already looked at the farm, so if you've missed any of the previous parts, go back, have a look at those videos. But yeah, so we've looked at the auxiliary buildings here, and we've looked at the extractor buildings here to produce the crops, and we've also looked at the processor buildings to produce the goods, or the processed materials, I should be saying, not goods, because we are still quite a way from producing goods. But from that, we need to look at storage. So we've already spotted that sometimes these do not have, they're already running out of crops. It's real kind of hit and miss if we're getting, so we're having to import some, because when these aren't produced, when these are full, they are immediately exported because they've got nowhere to store. And if at that time these are not requiring any raw material, then it's immediately exported out of the district, and it's not needed. Where they might, so that means that between your extractors and your processors, they might not line up in the demand, so therefore you're having to import some. And that's what we saw last time, where some of your goods are having to be imported into the world. So it's not that great, is it? So we're going to look at how we can stabilize that, and how to look at that stabilization within the internal kind of production value of our farming area. So under the industry area in the farming tab, you can see these this section here, the storage buildings we move on to. So you've got four types of storage building. You've got the small grain silo, you have got the large grain silo, you've got the small barn, and you've got the large barn. All of these store crops only, so these are raw material, store crops only. These do not produce, these do not store anything from your processing factories. Okay, so that's definitely worth remembering. And yeah, so let's have a look at these. So the small grain silo, it is unlocked at level 1, has a cost of down payment of 6,000, has an upkeep of 16 a week. None of these buildings produce any ground pollution, but this small grain silo produces 20 noise pollution, has a requirement of 80 cubic meters of water a week, and has an electricity requirement of 160 kilowatts a week. Has a cell size of 1x2, and has a storage capacity of 30,000, and holds 12 trucks, 12 shipping trucks inside it. The large grain silo here is unlocked at level 5, so it's quite a late industry game kind of item. Down payment of 22,000, has an upkeep of 64 a week, no pollution, but has 35 noise pollution, requires 320 cubic meters of water a week, 400 kilowatts of electricity a week, has a cell size of 3x4, and have a capacity of 600,000, and have 25 trucks in it. The small barn is unlocked at level 2, has a down payment of 12,000, has an upkeep of 32 a week, 0 ground pollution, 20 noise pollution, requires 240 cubic meters of water a week, 240 kilowatts of electricity a week, has a cell size of 2x3, and has a capacity of 400,000, and has 15 trucks available to it. The large barn is unlocked at level 4, has a down payment of 18,000, has an upkeep of 48 a week, 0 ground pollution, 35 noise pollution, requires 400 cubic meters of water a week, and requires 320 kilowatts of electricity a week, has a cell size of 2x4, and has capacity of 500,000, and has 20 delivery trucks within it. Okay, so that's covering the crops ones. Let's place some of these down so we'll see what these look like. So I'm going to place these small little ones just here, just on the entranceway. Have a look how they look. There you go. So you're just literally small little silos. Now you can't change the look of it, so despite them having different colours, you can't change that, which is quite sad. I think, yeah, I'd like to be able to change those colours and choose which ones are where. The only things you can change inside all of the silos is its storage mode. So you've got 3 types of storage mode. It is balanced, fill and empty. So balanced means that it will try to stick your silo to 50%, so it will import from your extractors until it is at 50%, and anything over 50% it will export it out of the district, or to a or it'll try and get rid of it out to a processor thing, whatever comes first, but it will always try to import export roughly about the same. So therefore it's almost kind of like an active silo, an active storage. So it imports, it exports, it's constantly going. If you're looking to more have a reserve of crops, so if for example you're saving up some money because you're in a boom time and you want to save up kind of more liquid, like kind of assets and liquid cash sort of thing, then fill is your option. It won't export until it is at 100%, and then it will just slowly trickle some out, get some in, and it will just try to keep it at 100%. And empty is the opposite. So if, for example, you need to sell all of your crops because you are running out of money, you have no money left in the tank, and you need a quick injection of cash, you can set all your storage areas to be empty, and it immediately exports everything either out to production facilities or out to the global market to sell them. So there are your options. I often keep mine on balance just so that it keeps them as active kind of places. We can see here that this is at 35% full, and that it will keep it importing until it is at 50%, and then we're going to see it then kind of start using it up within this area here. But we can see now that as and when these are ready to export out, they, rather than going to be shipped out of the district, they are now being sent to these storage facilities. So where are these going? These are now incoming. So these are ones that we have been imported, because these are also to be used as like long-term storage. You can also import. Now you don't really have much options when it comes to importing. You can't really say no, I don't want to import, but we can see here that technically we haven't imported anything yet, but we have now. So that tells us how much the import costs were, and that's because we're currently at balance and we're under at the moment, so we're not producing enough to sustain the amount in storage. So we're importing until we get to about 50%, and then it'll be kind of sent out. So that also means that if you have a lot of cash and you spend it, stick it to fill, and it will also import goods into your region as well. So that's why we've got a long line of traffic ready to import into the new storage silos. Right, let's put down the other ones to see how they look. So here are the large grain silos. Now for a building that contains double the amount of only double the amount of storage, I don't know if I like these, because they are a lot more expensive. Yeah, I don't really see the point of it. Yes, you get more delivery trucks, but they are huge and they don't really do much. They're only double the capacity. These small ones are at 300. This is at 600. Please comment below. Do you find that a bit bizarre? Despite their kind of model size, that they are absolutely gigantic, they're only double the capacity. Yes, you get a lot more trucks, so you get over double the you you get 13 more trucks. That's it. So you get 13 more trucks for delivery, which unless you've got a huge farming region with lots of places to deliver on, you're not going to really notice. But it's got a much larger cell size, and yeah, I'm not quite sure. You can fit 4 along its size, and you still got 1 at the back. So you can fit the size of 4 smaller ones in the same foothold. It has 1. Actually, you can fit 6 because you'd have 4 along there, 1 up there, 1 there. So yeah, okay, it's an interesting building. Please comment below, what do you think of it? Large grain silo. This is the small barn. So quite a cute little kind of barn. Once again, you can't change the colour. These really have no kind of colour difference other than the bottles which are stored outside. You can see that we've got a green, a red and a blue one. Once again, these you got like a yellow, a red and like a blacky kind of grey blue sort of colour there. Not quite sure what they're going for now. You've got no option to change colours for them. Yeah, they literally, whatever colour they come out of, that's what you've got. But you can see here, all of these have that balancing storage mode selector in them. So you can choose what works best for your facilities. And we've also then got the large barn here, which very similarly again is doesn't have that much more kind of storage, but is the same width, so I'm not going to judge it too much. It has 100,000 more storage, but it's the same width, so you're not going to really notice too much, and I feel like the design of it is quite nice, so that's okay. Has 5 more trucks capacity in it though, so it's quite useful. But yeah, and once again, you can't change the colours, and that's that. Right, so that's your storage of crops, and we can now see that if we click into here, you can see that we are storing these here. We are importing a lot now, so we're not making much money at the moment. That's purely to the fact that we are just kind of holding everything in. But once that kind of settles down, we've just upgraded our next level, but once that all settles down, then we're going back to our own production, and we're going to then just kind of hold it in as our own, and we should be okay. But it might take a while for these to kind of get to kind of size. But yeah, right, let's move on to touch upon the warehouses for the time being, and then we'll leave it there. So these are for your crops only, so these are for these buildings here. So unless you're looking for storage for crops, these aren't going to help you. So these, when they produce your animal products and also your flour, they're immediately exported, which may be absolutely fine for you. If you're just looking for money within your industry, this is perfect. That's pretty much what it does. But if you're looking for an industry to prop up your commercial areas, and also industry to send to your unique factory to prop up your commercial areas, then you're going to have some way of storing your produce as you make it. And this is exactly where warehouses come in. I've touched upon warehouses, so go watch the full video up above, but I'll explain how they work briefly here. So there are 4 types, so we're only going to look at the warehouse yard because I've covered all the others in the other video. Go have a look at that. So the warehouse, so this is where you do get to change what it does. So we're going to place down 2 of these inside the area because we need it, of animal products and flour. So please bear in mind and take note of what you produce to be able to have these in place. Once you place them, it says that, I don't know what this is, no resources selected, what am I? I'm literally just an empty marshalling yard. You can go into it and you get not only the storage mode as we saw in the other one, but you've also now got this stored resource. So you can now select what you want, and R2 at the top, but here you can store the processed materials. So I'm going to store animal products in this one, and we are going to store flour in this one. So once I've selected that, you'll see that these are now exporting to here, and we're going to see it's coming to warehouse yard. And every time as this, there you go, so we can now start seeing crates pile up in here, and then these will be exported over time. But yeah, so that's it guys, that's the that is the farming local region. So we've looked at how you can store now your goods and also your produced things within your region, so it's very useful. And yeah, that's been pretty much it. Big thumbs up to any of our farmers out there, give them a big thumbs up. Also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and yeah, remember to hit the subscribe button. I've been Skottyy from the Blue Coconut family. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!